The level of added value of a product does not depend on what product the enterprise produces, but rather on how the enterprise produces it. For example, the textile industry studies clothing that changes in shape and structure with changes in human body temperature, and its technological content is not inferior to that of computers. Therefore, based on the analysis of the priority of enterprise development and industrial adjustment, in the short term, it is still driven by consumption, and the huge market demand at home and abroad will still support many low-value, added, labor-intensive small and medium-sized enterprises to survive. In the long run, it will rely on transformation to produce high-value added products and enter the high end of the industrial chain. In the mid-term, there are transitional characteristics, with both consumption and transformation driving forces. Under the three development directions of vertical, horizontal, and oblique, the business operation movement is not limited to horizontal and vertical, but rather a three-dimensional activity situation, including developing small enterprises, expanding businesses, balancing virtual and real situations, and integrating operations. Foucault once discussed that enterprises are faced with three big history opportunities, namely, small enterprises and large businesses, outsourcing and capital management. In a tight environment, the core meaning is to avoid all kinds of external pressure. And integrated operations go even further and can even be said to encompass the first three. From the perspective of output, value integration refers to the coordination between various enterprises through a cooperative approach, and the collection of various capabilities and resources, ultimately creating value. This not only limits the industrial chain lengthening, also spreads the source of profits from a single value chain to the entire system value network. IBM calls such enterprises operating through function integration componentized enterprises. That is, in the future value network, every enterprise may be a component of other enterprise value networks, such as FedEx and UPS, which have become the transportation department, shipping department, inventory department, and dealer of many companies, and even the financing department or financial department when there is a demand for financial services. Similarly, there are also companies that become manufacturing workshops or research and development centers for other companies. Obviously, this trend of enterprise
of surplus liquidation. Therefore, this requires innovation in trading methods to adapt to the development of derivatives. In fact, the financial crisis is causing the global financial market to fall into painful reflection, making the United States and other countries, including the United States, face the challenge of the Washington Consensus. Although the major countries in the world have coordinated their actions to cut interest rates and inject capital, it is not difficult to imagine that after the crisis, the opening of the financial field of all countries will be cautious and explore the development path of the virtual financial market for the battlefield. In the short term, financial civilization has stagnated, but in the long run, with the recovery of investment banks, confusion between governments and financial institutions, especially the weakening of Wall Street's financial power center, which once dominated the game rules, and a decrease in trust, The international financial derivatives market will eventually become a large casino with relatively open and fair rules, where countries or institutions gamble for high profits. The financial derivatives market is moving towards casino-like, serving as a safe screen for the virtual economy to directly affect the real economy obstacle, adjusting economic imbalances before they harm the real economy, becoming a place for excess evaporation with dissipative functions. But this is only a possible trend in the international financial market, and whether domestic derivatives in China are heading towards casinos, the key to success lies in whether, while accepting the double-edged sword effect and abstract affirmation of financial derivatives, we can leverage the advantages of latecommerce, absorb and learn from them, and improve the barrier role of the virtual financial market. This first means separating rather than mixing. Of course, this is not to say that banks, securities, and insurance are completely in their respective positions and functions, but to set up firewalls to separate high leverage off balance sheet banking and financial derivative investment business from traditional banking business, in order to ensure the bottom line of deposit safety. In addition, a firewall is set between market failure and human greed. For example, the income of the boss is no longer just the final say decision of the market. Next, improve the order of the casino, ensure fair, just, and open trading rules and information, so that participants can be willing to gamble and admit defeat.